Welcome back to the Los Angeles Angels franchise here. This is episode 4, and we are currently on a 8-game winning streak as we are set to try and take on the Reds here and sweep them on the road. But it was a very long road stretch here. You see, we've been on the road since the 12th of April. We played Boston, won that series, then swept the Rays on the road in a 4-game series, and now we are set to close out the series against the Reds on the road. So the fact that we have done this 8-game winning streak on the road is impressive. Before we figure out if we can continue our success, Jimmy Herget is now going to be called up to the Major League roster and the bullpen now. I sent Jose Quijada down. He was not really doing too hot. 9 innings of work, 6 ERA. The whip isn't terrible, but I just decided I would send him down. With that being said, that would put Jimmy Herget into the second long relief role. I understand he's only got 24 stamina, but when you go down and you look at our AAA squad, Carson Fulmer is there now, but it's maybe it's our AA squad here. Mason Erla, 73 stamina, but Carlos Caceres, maybe I'm just yapping right now. But I don't really necessarily think that the stamina plays a huge role in how a long relief pitcher does. Obviously, they may have to go out and pitch more innings, but I think the game is smart enough to realize that if somebody's stamina is low, they're not going to continue pitching them just because their role is considered long relief pitcher, if that makes any sense. But we are 12-9, 1.5 games back of the Mariners here, or I should say 1.5 games back of the Rangers, who are in first place here in the AL West. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and do a quick manage. I think that's what it is. Yeah, quick manage. That's what we're going to do here, and if we want to jump in, we can jump in. So Reed Detmers is on the mound here for this final game. Anthony Rendon is hitting leadoff, but he is actually pretty tired. Luis Rengifo batting .224. He's exhausted as well. Zach Neto, same story for him. We are facing the lefty Nick Lodolo, so I might have to, sacrifice some guys like Moniak may need to play. Although in this situation, we need infielders. Also, I'm not sure if I mentioned it, but Joe Adell has been brought up to the Major League team. I don't know if I mentioned that in the previous episode or not, but he is now at the big league level. Big thing for him is he has used up all of his minor league options. This is a make or break opportunity here for Joe Adell. If he struggles, he's going to have to be released or, put to waivers, and then more than likely somebody will claim him. We're talking about a 25-year-old B potential, 65 overall. Somebody would claim him off the waivers. So the problem that I'm running into here is the fact that we really don't have enough infield utility guys. The only guy that can really play the infield that's on the bench is Matt Thaiss. And that means that he's also going to have to work in with Logan O'Hoppe behind the plate. It just isn't really something that, gets me excited about the team here because of the fact we need some more utility guys that can play that infield position. Because I'm sorry to say, but Jake Marisnick, he's probably not going to get that many at bats this year. He's got 16 so far this season, batting .250, not too bad. The OPS pretty low, slugging's also very low. But he's a guy that if I don't have to have him at the big league, roster, I don't want to. Regardless, that is going to be the end of that spiel. The only thing I'm trying to say is we need some more infield utility guys. If we don't trade for any at the deadline, I definitely want to address that need in free agency because that's something that the Angels just don't have at the moment. You can look at the minor league roster, it's just not there. So here we are in the quick manage here. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to continue to hit swing, and if I need to take Reed Detmers out, I'll take him out of the game. But the Reds are really struggling at the moment here in this franchise. Well, here we are, top 2 now as Rengifo flies out, and that's a 1-2-3 inning here, as that's a pretty good inning of work for Detmers as well, as both pitchers are doing a pretty good job at the moment. Elly De La Cruz leads it off with a single, Stuart Fairchild with a single, and now Reed Detmers is in trouble, as that is going to be an RBI for TJ Frieda. Will Benson will fly out, and a runner was thrown out trying to extend the lead to 2-0, as we're going to look to try and get Reed Detmers some help here and extend that winning streak. Tyler Stevenson with a single, as it looked like he was caught stealing there. Logan O'Hoppe starts us off with a single, and then Luis Rengifo hits into a double play. Really good inning there from Reed Detmers. I'll have to see how many pitches he's thrown, or I guess I should say what his energy is looking like, as our offense just isn't doing anything at the moment. I'm going to give Detmers the 6th here. If he allows a hit, I'm probably going to put somebody else in the game, as that's good 6 innings of work for Reed Detmers, only 1 earned. He did allow 6 hits, but at the end of the day, a very good outing as Hicks gets us started with a single. Drury and Trout both strike out. Logan O'Hoppe will single, and it's up to Luis Rengifo here. Can he tie the game up? No, he cannot. So now I am going to go ahead and put Jimmy Herget in the game here. I know he's a long relief guy. You know, you don't really think of that as a 7th inning guy, but I want to, get our first look at Jimmy Herget as he allows a single to Candelario, then a strikeout, then a flyout. Ellie De La Cruz will hit an RBI double, and Stuart Fairchild hits a single, and there's a flyout. In the 8th inning now, we really need to get something going as Taylor Ward will double. Zach Neto pops out. TJ Antone comes in the game, and that is a double for Matt Dice, and I'm going to go ahead and enter the game here. I probably don't necessarily need to enter here in this game. We are in an 8-game winning streak. I planned on entering the game if we were going to extend our winning streak to like a record-breaking number as far as an Angels record goes. But I'm going to enter here. Nolan Shanuel up to the plate here. Looks like the batting angle that I used is not the same. But I'm not complaining. I kind of like this one a little bit more just by the look of it. Either that or the screen here on this TV that I have just isn't really working that well. As Shanuel 1-1 count here. I do have a new setup. I actually have an office space now. But the TV that I have is extremely small as Shanuel hit this one on the ground to Christian Encarnacion Strand. I do believe that is who that is over there. As Aaron Hicks comes to the plate now, he is 1 for 3, and I'm going to go ahead and sub him out because he doesn't really hit righties all that well. Somebody that does is Mickey Moniak, so Mickey Moniak will come in here to hit in the top of the 8th. Runner on third, a base hit would score him. Here's Moniak. Oh my gosh, I got to be a little bit more patient here. Still getting used to playing the show again. I haven't been able to record as much as I would like, as that's a called strike or a check swing. Looks like they're going to say he went around. Here's Moniak, 0-2, and that one is at the knees for the first ball. Mickey Moniak batting .302 here on the season so far. TJ Antone on the mound, and this one is going to be a ball 2-2 count. Mickey Moniak, 2-2 count, and he strikes out as TJ Antone gets him on the sinker. As the Angels will strand a runner on third. They did get one, though, in the inning. Moniak will stay in left. And Jimmy Herget will stay in to pitch here, at least for the moment. Something that's so weird is playing against the Reds and not as the Reds, as TJ Friedl just extended the lead. The run we got doesn't even matter at this point, as Jimmy Herget is struggling. That slider was just placed poorly. TJ Friedl is not a guy that's known for his power. That's his first home run of the season, but Jimmy Herget just threw a sinker right down, a slider right on the middle, a hanging breaking ball, and anybody that's in the bigs is going to take that one out. As we take a look at the pitch, it was just terrible. Right in somebody's wheelhouse. That one's going to be crushed 10 out of 10 times. Look at the pitch location. It's not good. As I'm going to go ahead and put Robert Stevenson in the game. As Will Benson will lift this one into right. Robert Stevenson is a guy who got a large paycheck in free agency, a 3-year deal with the Angels. He's not very, highly rated in this video game, but in real life, he is a well-respected relief pitcher. If he can have a pretty good year here in the game, I'd be excited about his future with us. His overall is just not really high enough, I think, to get the 3 years to be worth it. As McLean's going to hit this one to center. Trout on the move. He's got speed, and he's there to make the play for out number 2. Baseball season is now back in real life. If you guys are enjoying the season so far, let me know. It's been a lot of benches clearing brawls so far. Claim your team now. You guys know me. I am a Reds fan. As I'm hoping that they can, take advantage of the youth that they have here in this video game. I just don't think that they are properly rated. But as long as we can take advantage of the youth that we have on our team, and whether it's this year or here in a couple of years, you just take advantage of these guys and use them while they're in their prime. Don't get rid of anybody and see what you can do. As here comes Alexis Diaz, blew a save yesterday against the Nationals in real life. I think that his brother Edwin Diaz is really what has given him some hype, I guess. Last year wasn't really a good year for Alexis Diaz. You look at his save numbers. Can we see his saves? 37 saves. I guess he had 3 blown saves. He's already got 1 in real life this year. It's not a great year for Alexis Diaz. He's not a bad closer. I think he just got hyped up a little bit more because of his brother's name. As here is Mike Trout as he rips this one to left for a base hit. As he reaches to start off the ninth. As here is Brandon Drury, somebody that could be traded at the trade deadline. He is 31 years old. He's got pop in his bat, as that's just a terrible pitch to swing at. Still getting used to talking and playing at the same time. So we're going to try and steal with Trout here. I guess it really doesn't matter, as Trout is picked off. He's not like he used to be. Trout getting a little bit older as well. 33 years old, I do believe, is how old he is, as Drury 0 for 3 day. This is a relatively young team. There are some older pieces on the team that eventually will have to go. One of them is Anthony Rendon, of course. But how do you get rid of a guy like Rendon? As I just am not seeing the ball right now. How do you get rid of a guy like Rendon with the contract that he has? It's going to be very difficult to do so. I think the easiest way to get rid of him is just play out his time, and then when his contract's up, just let him walk. As Brandon Drury 0 for 3. I'm trying to be more patient at the plate here. As Drury hits this one to left field. That's a contact swing, so it's not going to have enough to get out, but it's a very good swing. And Drury hit it 88 miles per hour off the bat to Frito out and left. As Logan O'Hoppe, he is one of those young, bright, upcoming stars here in the Angels, ball club that should have a pretty good future. 2 for 3 today, as he has a 1-0 count coming his way, and he fouls it off. 1-1 count from Alexis Diaz, as O'Hoppe's going to swing and miss on a slider. That's a very good pitch there. Too early on it, and even if we had good swing timing, I don't think we're going to be able to do anything with it. As it's strike number 3, Alexis Diaz on the black. Perfect pitch. O'Hoppe's got to protect in that situation, but disappointing to end our winning streak. We were coming into this game with an 8-game winning streak. Reed Detmers did a pretty good job on the mound. It was Jimmy Herget who came in and allowed 2 earned. That really disappointed the ball club today, and that's not a good way to show your presence at the major league level this season. I mean, Herget isn't a rookie or anything like that. He's had his experience, but at the same time, you get the call up and you struggle that way. That's not very good, as O'Hoppe had a 2-hit day. We had a hit with Mike Trout. Reed Detmer, 6 innings of work, only 1 earned, 4 strikeouts. It was Jimmy Herget, who now has an 18 ERA. Robert Stevenson with a pretty good inning himself. But the winning streak is over, as the Reds will snap it after 8 games. So I have shown you this screen before. Caden Dana, of course, 61 overall. He is at the AA level. And then Barrett Kent is at the AA level as well. Really low overalls, but there is Nelson Rada. He's at the single A level. Don't know when we'll see him. Could be a while. We need to get him some opportunities at the AA level here soon. But Kyron Paris is probably your most MLB-ready guy. Here he is at AAA this season, only batting .226. He's got 1 home run. 22 years old. He's probably the first guy up, if you ask me. Victor Medeiros could get a call up, or Chase Chaney is who I was thinking of, not Medeiros. Chase Chaney could get a call up at some point, but he's struggling at AA right now, so it's hard to tell when that might actually happen. But Kyron Paris is a guy that I want to get a look at. I know it's pretty early to, take a look at some of these younger guys, but I just think that we are not going to be a very competitive team throughout. So we want to get a look at some of these young guys who can eventually make an impact. Garrett Hampson is on the trade block here for the Royals, apparently. And he is a 73 overall, C potential 29-year-old. Pretty good contact, pretty good speed. But, I really don't see why we would give up Caden Dana, who is one of our top prospects. Stamina is very low on him, so he could end up being just a relief guy. But I think by the time he's 23 years old, Caden Dana will be a guy that is ready to make an impact in this lineup, or in the pitching rotation, I should say. Garrett Hampson has no place on this team. I'm sorry, Royals, but we are going to decline your trade offer. And now we're going to get a player lock game with Kyron Paris. I almost forgot his name. He's batting leadoff here for the Salt Lake Bees. As they're 14-7, it's not a very good team at all, so it's actually a very surprising record. Wyatt Langford for the Round Rock Express. He's a guy who will probably be getting the call up soon for the Rangers. Very good player. There's a new minor league introduction here. This is new to MLB the Show. Getting our first look at it. Just a quick little cutscene. But we're not here to talk about the cutscenes for the AAA level. We're here to get a look at Kyren Paris. I know we took a look at him just a second ago, but he does actually have 15 games of big league experience. He had 40 at-bats and only 4 hits, bat 100. He had 1 RBI. He walked 4 times. The story is he struck out nearly 50% of his at-bats. 3 stolen bases for him. We can look at his K percentage. 37% of his at-bats ended in strikeouts. He only walked 8.7% of the time. This is another thing too. I downloaded a new roster just so I could get some of those international free agents. For some reason, Kyren Paris is set to be a free agent next year. I don't know why that's the case, but that will not happen. If he gets signed by somebody else, I will literally do a forced trade. I'll do some bullcrap where I make somebody 99 overall just to get him back on the team. He's one of our top prospects. I'm not just going to let him walk because right now he shouldn't even have started arbitration at this point, or I guess this would be his first year of it. But at AAA, 16 games, he's got 12 hits and 53 at-bats, a 226 average, 1 home run, 22 strikeouts though. So let's take a look at that K rate here. You actually can't see it. You actually have to do the math yourself. But 22 strikeouts and 53 at-bats, that's like close to a 40% K percentage. That's not very good. That's worse than what it was at the big league level last year. The vision, discipline, need to go up. His contact and power will eventually go up, but the vision and discipline is what you really care about. Defensively, he's going to get better, and he's a pretty quick player as well. But let's stop talking about everything. Let's get some at-bats here with Kyren Paris. We'll also take a look at him from the field as well. He's a number 5 prospect here in the Angels organization. We've talked about the 2 pitchers as well, as it's a 1-0 count to Paris. One thing he needs to work on is just being disciplined at the plate, waiting for his pitch. 2-0 count to Paris as he fouls away the high cutter. Here is the 2-1 to Paris as he's going to watch the sinker down for a ball. I'm not going to be mad if Paris walks here because we'll at least get to see his speed on display. He's a pretty quick guy as he is going to walk. It's a 5-pitch at bat. He swings at 1, but we're going to be on the move here as here's the pitch. Hunter Dozier watches it as Paris swipes the bag. I thought he got a terrible jump, so I was very afraid of him getting thrown out, as that was also a strikeout there. Evan White up to the plate here for the Bees as he hits this one on the ground. It's up the middle. Paris was thought about going home, and he's thrown out trying to get back to third. We know that baseball players are not going to be known for their change of direction. That's not something that they have to be able to do. But Kyren Paris tried to go all the way around. He said, nope, I changed my mind. Tried to go back to third, and then was thrown out. Wyatt Langford up to the plate now for the Express. A very dangerous hitter and a very exciting prospect. But Kyren Paris over there at short makes the play for the final out. So I don't really know how each episode is going to go. Each episode is going to be different. You know, one episode you might see more gameplay than the other episode. And this episode here, I want to get some gameplay, but I want to mainly focus on getting through the rest of this month and maybe half of next month. You know, let's make up some ground here. We haven't been able to cover much ground or put out as many episodes as I would like. So maybe we speed it up a little bit, or at least try to. I think I explained it in the opening video for this series, but that was a very good pitch to swing at, and I didn't do it. But I was in the process of moving, still am in the process of moving, really. So just bear with me. It's going to be probably a little while until I get into a true routine of making videos again. But when I do, you guys will appreciate it. 1-2 count here to Paris. I'm going to go contact swing. Reason that I want to go contact here is because if you're fouling things off, you're getting longer at bats, you know, that will potentially help his vision go up, his discipline go up, because you're just staying alive in the at bat. Here's the 2-2 count from White as Paris is going to foul another pitch away. Pretty good at bat at the moment. As you see, he hasn't really swung at anything that's out of the zone. He's had a pretty good eye. Here is the 2-2 as Paris will check his swing, and the first base umpire says he did not go around and say 3-2 count. Now I'm allowing him to do anything. I'm allowing him to do a power swing if he wants to. 3-2 count, looking for something to hit here. And I was way late. Too patient. That's a case of being too patient. I was so patient that I didn't swing until the ball was already in the catcher's mitt. As Paris will make the play to end the third. He's going to be a pretty good defender. He's going to have pretty good speed. He will be the perfect utility guy. Would like for him to get that K rate down. Once he does that, I think it'll be the perfect opportunity to bring him up to the big league level, as this is a sinker hit back up the middle for a base knock. So Kyron Paris, we just witnessed his first base hit at the AAA level. And that was a really good piece of hitting there. You know, he stayed through with the sinker. It was down the middle. Didn't try to lift it out. He just went with it and hit it up the middle. And now you got 2 runners on with 2 away for Hunter Dozier. 0-1 count. Dozier's going to hit this one up the middle, but the shortstop is there to make the play for out number 3. Perfect opportunity to turn 2 here, as JB is up to the plate. I'm not saying his last name. McGregor on the mound here for the Bees. So 1-0 game here. Make that 3-0. As we got runners on first and second with 2 away. Obviously, the easy play here is to just go to first. I would try to go 3, but our third baseman just wasn't even over there. Still a good play by Kyron Paris as you look at the beautiful sky here in wherever the Bees play. Salt Lake. Or this isn't the Salt Lake's home stadium, so this is wherever the Express are playing. Regardless, I'm yapping. 1-0 count here for Kyron Paris. White has been on the mound the entire game. 7 strong innings of work for him, 76 pitches. And it's a 1-1 count upcoming to Kyron Paris as he watches ball number 2. Paris watches the cutter come in for a strike. 2-2 count. This is an opportunity where I would go contact swing, but we're in the 7th inning, down by 5. I'm going with a normal swing here. Here is Kyron Paris as he goes down swinging. The K rate is going to continue to go up, as that is his 2nd strikeout of the game. He's 1 for 3, but in this case, I don't really care about his average. I just want to watch that K rate go down. As Paris is going to hit this one to the short. I thought the left fielder was going to make the play there. Shortstop does make the play for out number 2. Kyron Paris is going to end his day with a 1 for 4 day at the plate. Pretty good day in the field, though, as we lose this game 7-0. Salt Lake, 2 hits for Willie Calhoun, 3 for Levon Soto. He's another guy that I'm quite interested in. We'll have to go and look at him. Travis McGregor, 3 earned. Carson Fulmer, terrible outing. And then Quijada, somebody that we just sent down. He goes 2 innings, 1 earned. So here's Levon Soto here. He is a 62 overall C potential guy. He's 23 years old. His vision and discipline is actually pretty decent. It's in a pretty good spot. His contact is also, at least against righties, is in a pretty good spot. Not necessarily known for his fielding or his speed, but when you look at his AAA stats this year, in 9 games, he is batting .267 with 1 homer. Can we look at his K rate? No, we can't. I think there's a way you can look at it from the AAA screen, but I'm not going to concern myself with it too much as we drop a game here against the Baltimore Orioles at the big league level. A hit for Moniak, Shanuel, and Trout. Drury also with a hit. Griffin Canning, 5 1/3, allowing 3 earned. Tyler Anderson, pretty good day on the mound for him. As now, I'm just going to go into simulating mode here. I'm going to try and get through some games here. As here's an opportunity. We are leading 7-1. Rengifo has 2 home runs already. Let's make it 3. No thank you. We should win. We do. 7-1. The Bees have 27 players on our active roster. I know why. I think it's because of Quijada, if I'm not mistaken. That is why, as Carson Fulmer, at 30 years old, 59 overall, we're going to go ahead and release him. There's really no point of having him on the team anymore. He's just not a very good player to begin with. But then something I also was thinking about here is Orlando Martinez is batting .279 at the AA level. David Calabrese is batting .257. I'm going to send him down. I understand that, that might bother some people, but Nelson Rada needs to get his opportunity at the AA level. So he will be brought up, and I'll adjust the lineups accordingly to make sure he's getting some opportunities. He is a C potential guy, but at 18 years old and he's only 58 overall, I think he could get some pretty decent development. I don't want to not try, if that makes any sense. We're going to have him playing in left field at the Double-A level here to start. So O'Hoppe needs a triple for the cycle, but we're also only down by 1 run. So we're going to get Logan O'Hoppe, try and get a triple here, but I'm not really worried about the triple. I'd more so want to win the game. As here is O'Hoppe, a home run, double, and a single. I think he'd be the perfect guy to get a thumbnail with, as he's one of the young up-and-coming players here. Felix Bautista on the mound here. He is a flamethrower, one of the best closers in baseball at the moment. Logan O'Hoppe watches the slider. He can throw up to 102 miles per hour. I think that he can probably even throw harder here in the game, as O'Hoppe was expecting the fastball. He was way too early on the splitter. Now it's a 1-2 count. I'm going to go with a normal swing as we foul away the slider. I'm not really sure how O'Hoppe didn't really drive that one up the middle. It's perfect swing timing, and it's a good pitch to hit as well. As Felix Bautista throws this one 101 for ball number 2. Logan O'Hoppe looking for the triple, looking to just extend the game. As Felix Bautista throws the slider right down the middle, and O'Hoppe misses. I don't know how you missed that. I mean, that's a perfect pitch to swing at and hit. As we can take a look at the box score here. As Mike Trout with a 2-hit day, Brandon Drury with 2 hits himself, Logan O'Hoppe with the 3-hit day, of course, as Drury and O'Hoppe both had home runs on the day. Chase Silseth, though, allowed 6 earned, and this is coming after one of his best outings he'll probably ever have in his career. Tyler Anderson allowed 2 earned, Andrew Wantz, 2 innings of work, no earn, and Carlos Estevez comes in, did a pretty good job. Regardless, that is a series loss for the Angels, as we are now 13-12, set to take on the Twins here in a series. We're going to get through the rest of this month, and we'll take a chance to look at some of our guys here, as Taylor Ward just bruised his leg. He'll be out for a day or two. Hey, good thing we have tons of outfielder options on the big league roster. Taylor Ward no longer injured, so we can go ahead and put him back in the lineup. But the Twins are up 2-0 here in the series, as we are getting beat 1-14 in both of these games here. The offense is going cold again, is what it looks like, as Patrick Sandoval had himself a very rough outing. And then 9 earned here for the team. We can look, 2 hits for Shanuel, 2 for Rendon, home run for Aaron Hicks, but Reed Detmers didn't do terrible. It was Robert Stevenson who came in and allowed 3 earned runs. So I guess it was only 6 earned. I said 9 at the beginning, but anyway, right before we had this 8-game winning streak, what was going on? We were allowing way too many runs, and our offense just wasn't doing anything significant. Maybe we are about to go on another winning streak, perhaps. I don't know. Probably not. But now I'm going to go ahead and take a look at scouting here, as John Cabrera was a guy who we just finished our scouting profile up on. He is going to be 5th on our board. He's 5'8", 170 pounds. Looks like he could have decent overall to start with. The potential looks like it could be decent. But the problem is he's probably going to be a B potential guy. Do you want to get a B potential guy with your very first pick? Probably not. The power could be there. The contact looks really good. The vision and discipline looks like it'll be pretty good. The defense is good, and the speed is good. He could be a 5-tool player potentially by the time he gets called up to the big league roster. That is very well a possibility. John Cabrera is not going to be off my board entirely, but we'll just have to see. So I was looking at these guys here that were discovered in Chris Avalos and Guillermo. Are these guys brothers, or Chris Avalos and Guillermo Avalos? Chris is from Venezuela and Guillermo is from Puerto Rico. I just now realized these guys have the same exact last name. You guys are probably listening to this and going, you just now noticed that. Regardless, they're probably not brothers. They could be long lost brothers, potentially. You never know. But these are the only guys here that I've really found that were discovered. Ernest Flores is actually a guy who could be a, late selection. He's from Cuba. He could be a late selection. He's somebody that our scout went out and discovered. Aside from that, there's really not anybody else on here. Like I said, we've discovered some of these guys, but they're not going to be anywhere high on our draft rank. So I think it's probably time we go ahead and discover players from a new region. We found 2 from the international region. That's great. Those are guys that we could potentially draft. Actually, we found 3. that we could potentially draft. So I'm very pleased with that. So I'm going to go ahead and edit this scouting assignment here. We're going to go ahead and try and discover pitchers from the East region. It is the second strongest region as far as starting pitchers goes. If we don't find anything, we may go back to international and try and scout some international guys like one more time. See if we can't discover an international guy like one more time. But I'm going to move on. We're going to try and look at some pitchers in the East region now. John Cabrera is the only guy we got to change out now, as I'm going to try and find somebody, an offensive player to scout here. And I think that guy's going to be Roger Gooch. He's 4th on our board and 5th on the MLB board. Great defensive prospect. Great speed. The hitting just really isn't there. And the name's not there. I don't really want to draft a guy named Roger Gooch, but he's somebody you just have to take a look at. You can't just ignore Roger Gooch because of his name and the fact that he's not really that good of a hitter. But that's aside from the point, as we're going to set that as our scouting there. Continue on the series here against the Twins as Griffin Canning has a shutout going. Here's something that I can do. I'll enter this game, try and finish this game out. I want to at least play in a game in which we win. And the goal is, if I'm having an episode where I feel like I'm going way too long or maybe time's just flying and I look down and I've been recording for an hour and a half, some episodes just may end once I hit that hour and a half time limit, as Royce Lewis will lift this one into left for out number 1. The fact that Griffin Canning has a shutout going into the 9th and only has 73 pitches means that he's been working very quickly. He probably doesn't have a single strikeout. He probably hasn't walked a single batter. I mean, we're talking about like 2 pitch at bats pretty much the entire game, as this one is going to be at least a 3 pitch at bat. 2-0 count to Eduardo Julian, as that is a strike in there at the knees. 2-1 count upcoming to Julian. 77th pitch, and this one is ripped foul. We're going to try and go with the slurve here inside. Can we get him swinging? That's not where that pitch was supposed to go. The slurve didn't work. Let's go with the slider here. 2-2 count. Canning delivers, and this one's hit to Rengifo at second. Can Rengifo make the play? He does. 2 outs as Griffin Canning is 1 out away from a complete game shutout. That would be a very dominant pitching game for Griffin Canning. Our whole starting rotation is relatively young, except for Zach Plesac, but he's not even that old. He's only like 31, I do believe. They're relatively young, and they all have a chance to develop into pretty good pitchers, as Ryan Jeffers is to the plate now for the Twins. But they could all be really good pitchers. I don't really feel the need to address starting pitching so early in the franchise. I think our defense needs probably the most help, or I should say like our offensive output needs the most help. Relief pitchers as well. But our starting pitchers, I think, for the most part, could develop. If they don't, then we'll address that need. As here's the 2-2 to Jeffers. That's a lot of 2s. Now it's a 3-2 count. Max Kepler on deck. Here's the pitch from Canning. This one's hit foul. As Griffin Canning, 86 pitches on the day. This is the most pitches he's had in an inning so far. Here's the 87th pitch. And this one's hit to right field. And it is down, as that's going to be a base hit for Ryan Jeffers. And Ron Washington is going to come out of the bullpen, or the dugout, and go to the bullpen. And we end up winning. So, very good game for Griffin Canning. Take a look at our offensive outing. Only 4 hits. It was a home run from Taylor Ward. Looking at the pitching, Griffin Canning, dominant game. He allowed 6 hits. Carlos Estevez comes in and gets his 6th save of the season. We didn't get swept. That's the only thing you can ask for in that situation. We didn't get swept. Our offense did just enough, and it was Taylor Ward who did just enough. So now Zach Plesac, who has been very good so far. He's 4-0. If we can get the win here, that would be very impressive. We're trailing 4-2 at the moment. Home team down by 2. 2 runners on base here. It's Brandon Drury. I'm going to simulate to the end of the game. We lose this game 5-4. I'm interested in seeing how Zach Plesac did in this game. 2 hits from Sean Ewell, 2 from Mickey Moniak. It was a home run from Mickey Moniak. Zach Plesac, 4 earned. He didn't take the loss, so he's still undefeated on the season. It was Andrew Wantz who's going to take the loss. Robert Stevenson and Jimmy Herget both did a pretty solid job, as Andrew Wantz has had himself a pretty good season so far out of the bullpen. And Evan White was injured. He'll be out for a couple of days. 15-15, we end the month of April. It's a 7-2 victory against the Phillies. 2 hits from Shanuel, 2 from Drury, 2 for Rengifo, a home run for Rengifo, and Chase Silseth bounced back after his poor outing in his last one for 5 innings, 1 earned. Tyler Anderson and Jose Soriano do their thing as well. 15-15 to wrap up the first month of baseball here, as Warner Blakely tore it up in April, posting a 300 average and 40 at-bats while driving in 6 runs. Don't know who Warner Blakely is. Ben Joyce posted a 2.7 ERA, punching out 7 batters in 6 2/3 innings of work. And Ryan Miller also posted a pretty good ERA. That doesn't really tell me much. I'm going to be completely honest with you. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and look at statistics. And if I find anything that stands out to me, I'll let you know. Only 3 players have played in all 30 games. That's Zach Neto, Brandon Drury, and Luis Rengifo. As we can take a look at some more stats as well here. They both, but all 3 of them have been doing pretty decent. Zach Neto is actually one guy who's struggled at the moment. Brandon Drury leads us in hits with 31. Logan O'Hoppe has 30. Home runs is Mike Trout, and Luis Rengifo has 6 home runs. Mickey Moniak has 5, 4 for O'Hoppe and 4 for Anthony Rendon. Looking at the RBIs, it's Logan O'Hoppe. Stolen bases, Mickey Moniak with 3, Taylor Ward and Trout both with 2. Our number 1 average guy is Anthony Rendon still. And his stats are going up in contact versus lefties. They're actually going down in every single other category. Shout out to MLB the Show 24 for changing the fonts on these attribute screens and the depth chart screens because they were just terrible. Nobody liked them. Shout out to MLB the Show for changing that. I do appreciate that. Logan O'Hoppe batting .303, Mickey Moniak, and Mike Trout. Then Nolan Shanuel, a guy who's known for contact, isn't really doing the best so far, but he's not doing terrible. 2 home runs so far in the season. Our number 1 on-base guy is Anthony Rendon. Our number 1 slugger is Mickey Moniak, Mike Trout, and Logan O'Hoppe. And we have 5 guys with an OPS above 800. That's Luis Rengifo, Anthony Rendon, Mike Trout, O'Hoppe, and Moniak. So Mike Trout has struck out 30 times so far this season. That's not good. And Nolan Shanuel has a terrible fielding percentage at the moment. 6 errors on the season so far. Aaron Hicks has struggled defensively. Luis Rengifo as well. And I thought maybe Rengifo that's the reason I was playing him over Drury, is because he's a better defender. At least at second base is what I'm talking about, because Drury's still going to play. I don't know. Mike Trout and Mickey Moniak are your leaders in WAR at the moment. Are there any guys on the team who, really aren't helping us? Shanuel and Zach Neto are just really not helping us. They're both young. Could they do a stint at the minors for a little while? Jake Marisnick striking out a bunch. Matt Thaiss striking out a bunch. Mike Trout and Taylor Ward also up there as well. Looking at the pitching here, Zach Plesac has pitched the most amount of innings so far, but Chase Silseth and Griffin Canning and Patrick Sandoval all tied for the team lead with 29 strikeouts. Jimmy Herget, Jose Soriano, Tyler Anderson, and Chase Silseth all having pretty high ERAs, but Luis Garcia, who has only pitched in 4 innings for some reason, and then Matt Moore, who's pitched in 5 2/3, have not allowed an earned run yet this season. And Andrew Wentz, this guy is coming out of nowhere. I hope I'm saying his name right, because if I'm not, it just sounds stupid. But he's been dominant out of the bullpen so far this season. Zach Plesac's been doing pretty well. Griffin Canning and Reed Detmer's also doing pretty well. Patrick Sandoval and Chase Silseth struggling at the moment. Maybe Reed Detmer's is just a little bit lucky because his whip is terrible. His ERA is actually pretty decent. Zach Plesac leading in WAR, Griffin Canning and Chase Silseth there. Andrew Wentz with a .2 WAR. A couple guys with negative WAR is Tyler Anderson, Robert Stevenson, and Jimmy Herget. And then Jose Soriano here, 7.5 walks per 9 is just not good. We've talked about it before. His control is low, and his base on balls per 9 is extremely low as well. If he can work on that, he could be an electrifying bullpen arm. Looking at the FIP here, Matt Moore, Zach Plesac with a 2.9 FIP. Compared to his ERA, that's the exact same. So, what he has presented to you is what he is. He's 29 years old as well. Reed Detmer's kind of the same thing with him. I don't think he's necessarily been a lucky pitcher. What they've presented to you, Andrew Wentz, on the other hand, maybe a little bit lucky, as his whip is 1.22. I've seen enough at the big league level. I'm going to see if I can find anybody in the minors who, I may consider calling up. So I actually found somebody that I am willing to call up, and that is Michael Stefanik. He has only played in a total of 50 big league games. Last year he played, he had a 290 average, no home run. He's still yet to hit his first big league home run. But he can play everywhere in the infield. And when I was taking a look at his AAA stats, his average isn't doing too well, 237. That's not very impressive. His OPS isn't as well. It was the fact that he has a .4 WAR, which was second on the team, and he has a perfect fielding percentage, along with the fact that, maybe he could bring something to the big league level. I mean, I would take him over Jake Marisnick. We're talking about a guy who's batting 200 at the moment. His OPS is very weak. And then there was stuff that I didn't like about him, like his strikeout rate is very high, as opposed to Michael Stefanik, who can play everywhere. His strikeout rate was only at like 13%, I do believe. So we're going to go ahead and add him to the big league roster here, as Jake Marisnick will be sent down to the AAA level. So we're going to be making another move here. Jose Soriano is going to be sent down to the AAA level to get some innings there and just really work on that control and his walks per nine. Jose Quijada has been pitching very well at AAA since we put him down, and we're going to call him up, and he's going to go back up to the big league roster. If we look at his contract, he has used all of his minor league options, but since we have sent him down one time this year, it's not going to hurt us, moving forward. And he's going to be slotted in the middle of relief spot as well here. And then looking at the AAA level, we should see Jose Soriano. I really want to see him as our closer at the AAA level. I think that's where he fits well. So that's what we'll go with there. So now I just need to go ahead and look at the AA level here, see if there's anybody who has popped off that deserves an opportunity to get called up. And then once I do that, I'm going to continue simulating probably like half a month, and then I will probably wrap up the episode. There wasn't much that I expected to see here, but Nelson Rada is batting 292. He only has 24 at-bats. When you look at his attributes, his power is going up, and his overall has gone up. Warner Blakely, I'm actually intrigued. 22 years old, see potential guy. His hitting doesn't look bad. His defense isn't too hot. But then Caleb Ketchup here at 22 years old, he is a deep potential guy. That does not mean he can't get better. He could be like a 69 overall, and then let's say his potential is 69. He could get a potential boost, and he could then be a C potential guy. Just food for thought. Warner Blakely looks pretty good. His OPS is above 800 here. He is actually the clear-cut MVP of the team so far. And being a C potential guy, that doesn't, make me afraid to see what he's got really. So maybe he's somebody that if he puts together another pretty good month here at AA, he'll get the call up. And then these three right here, Ben Joyce, Caden Dana, and Barrett Kent, they're not doing too bad. Barrett Kent, on the other hand, is struggling a little bit. He's only pitched in 5 innings. Maybe it's time to get him some work as a starter. It's just hard to do so when he's a 42 stamina. I don't like that. Ben Joyce and Caden Dana, if these guys continue to pitch pretty well, then we may see them move up to the AAA level. But like I said, it's going to be another month before we make any moves. Because some of these guys, I don't want to rush them to the AAA level. I want to see what they got. I want to see if their stats kind of die down a little bit, or if they stay pretty good and pretty consistent, then we'll bump them up to the AAA level. It's time to continue playing some baseball here, as Mickey Moniak is up to the game. We're down by 1. Mike Trout's on second. I didn't see how many outs we have, but I want to see if Mickey Moniak can tie the ball game up. There is 2 down. It's bottom of the 8th. Mickey Moniak at the plate. Sir Anthony Dominguez on the mound here, as Moniak will swing and miss. We'll see if we were ahead of that just a little bit. It was more so we just missed the ball, as Moniak 0-1 count, as he's going to turn on this one, and it's hit foul, but it was 109 off the bat. Mickey Moniak, 70 clutch. So I think we're going to go contact swing right here. Here's the pitch, as Moniak has a pretty good eye there as he watches it. 4-1. Here is the 1-2 count. Moniak swing and a miss, as that's going to do it for the 8th. It's hard to really get a read on those changeups and those sinkers low. I'm going to go ahead and finish playing the game here, as Andrew Wantz is on the mound here. Do we make a move here, or do we allow him to keep pitching? He's been so dominant this season. I'm going to see Matt Moore. I'm going to get him up and moving. If we need to bring him in, we'll bring him in. as it is the top of the lineup here for the Phillies, as Trey Turner is going to foul this one away. 0-1 count. Turner hits this one to right field. Moniak on the move. Pretty good fielder. He's been a pretty good hitter so far this year for us as well. That's out number 1. Bryson Stott at the plate now. Andrew Want's going to continue pitching here. He is getting tired, though. He's been such a good relief pitcher for us so far this season. Obviously, we're only 1 month into the season, so a lot of things can change moving forward. But if a guy like Andrew Wantz continues to pitch this well, he's somebody that I want to keep in the bullpen for a long time. Especially he is not that old, so he's somebody that could be in the bullpen for a while. As he gets the strikeout on Bryson Stott, looking 2 outs here in the 9th. His second strikeout is here is the dangerous Bryce Harper. He's a guy who can go yard pretty much any chance you let him. He hits this one deep to left center field. Taylor Ward on the move, though, and he's going to camp underneath of it for out number 3. When he hit that ball, I thought it was gone right away. Here's Jeff Hoffman on for the Phillies to try and close the game out. Taylor Ward, batting 6th, will lead off here in the bottom of the 9th. Ward is 1 for 3 here as he swings and misses at the slider. Good swing timing. We're just not hitting it. I don't really know why. Here is Ward for ball 1. 1-1 count here to Taylor Ward. Make it 2-1. On my screen here, I can't see the ticker at the bottom. So if there's anything cool going on, I can't see it at the moment, unfortunately. I can look over at my laptop and see it, but I haven't really looked at my laptop that often here. 2-2 count to Taylor Ward. Here is the pitch as Ward will go down swinging on the slider. Once again, it's those pitches well below the zone. I'm just struggling to see them at the moment. But here's Logan O'Hoppe. He's 0 for 3 on the day so far. Looking for his first hit as he swings and misses at the splitter. Good swing timing again. Just didn't hit it. So we're still waiting for our first home run here. That's a lie because Mickey Moniak had an inside the park home run in the opening day episode. If you guys didn't see that, go check it out. That was crazy, unexpected magic. But we're still waiting for our first one over the wall here as O'Hoppe's going to swing and miss at the slider. It looked good coming in, then it broke at the last second. That's a good pitch from Hoffman. 2-2 count. O'Hoppe will foul this one back. We'll do the 2-2 again. It's O'Hoppe. That's frustrating right there because I'm really just struggling to time anything up. As Rengifo is to the plate now. Do we try to do a pinch hitter here? I think I'm going to. Nolan Shanuel hits better against lefties than Rengifo does. Righties than Rengifo does. So we'll bring him on. He's got a 264 average so far this season. As that was the perfect pitch to hit. Shanuel hits this one into center field for the final out of the game. What can you do there? The at-bat from Logan O'Hoppe, I didn't think that I was that early on that slider. Then Shanuel, the pinch hitter, comes in. It's a tough loss there. 4-3 is the final. Mike Trout with 3 hits. Now we're on the road against Cleveland. I'm going to go ahead and simulate to the end of this game. We lose 7-3. I don't know how you blow that opportunity. I can't play in every single game. I'd like to. Like Drury, he needs a triple for the cycle. He's probably not going to get that. I'm not going to play that. We do win that one 7-0. We can take a look at how we won that one. 4 hits from Brandon Drury. When I saw 4 hits pop up, I thought, did he hit for the cycle? He does not have a triple here on the screen, so no, he didn't. It's a home run from Drury and Rengifo. And then looking at the pitching here, Griffin Canning, another strong outing, 8 1/3, no earned runs. That's back-to-back games where he just dominated. I'm liking what I'm seeing from Griffin Canning at the moment. And looking at scouting here, Roger Gooch, he's pretty much what we expected. He's not going to be a guy who is going to hit the ball. He's a defensive guy, and he's a speed guy. I'm going to go ahead and stop scouting Roger Gooch just due to the fact that I'm not interested in him because he can't hit the ball. I don't want people who can't hit the ball on my team. He'd be a good utility guy, but he's not somebody you take with the 7th pick in the draft. Here is Jim Rosenberg from Canada. He is a discovered prospect. I don't know how we discovered him because I stopped discovering international guys. Ernest Flores, maybe it's because, we're just now scouting him. But it said that we saw some more guys discovered, but I'm not finding them here on the board. So there was really nothing interesting there as far as the guys we discovered in the East region as far as pitchers goes. So we'll do like one more week of that. And if nothing really pops up, then I think we might go back to international for like one more week. But we need to find another position player to scout here. So let me find that and I'll show you who I'm going to scout. Here's Lou McDermott. He is an 18-year-old from Missouri, 5'9", 175 pounds. He hits lefty. He's a third baseman. Kind of liking what I'm seeing so far out of him. Could be a 5-tool guy. Obviously, it's just too early to say when it comes to any of these guys because he's 18 years old and we're 5% scouted on him. And we're not going to find out a whole lot here in the first scouting session. Hopefully, we can find some pitchers out of the East region. If we can't, then we'll just have to go back to the international region. Another thing that I want to do is I want to change up the scouting for these international pitchers here, probably after 2 more weeks of doing it. Plesac has a shutout going, another dominant game. Nolan Shanuel, he'll be out for a couple of days. We're not going to stop simulating, but an 8-0 victory against the Guardians, as it was a 2-hit day from Trout, 2 from Moniak, a home run from Zach Neto. Can Neto turn around his season? He has not been doing that well. Michael Stefanik, though, 3 hits in his 4 at-bats. That's why we called him up. I'm liking that, as Zach Plesac has a complete game shutout. Now we're set to take on the Pirates here. Carlos Estevez on the mound, and he shuts them down. We have not allowed a run in 3 straight games. Make that 4 straight games. This is ridiculous. 4 straight games, we have not allowed a single run. That's impressive stuff right there. You know, I got maybe 20 more minutes in me here recording. Should I get a player lock game with Zach Neto? He's struggled so far this season. I'm going to do it. Batting 206. Matt Dice is struggling as well, but we need him just because he's our backup catcher. Taylor Ward, 231 average. Not really impressed there. But Logan Ohapi and guys like Anthony Rendon are doing pretty well. Mickey Moniak, that average has dropped a little bit. But aside from, you know, a guy like Zach Neto, I've been very pleased with our offensive, at least our averages. You know, average is like, you can't really judge too hard when you look at somebody's average. As Neto here at short, there to make the play. Henry Davis doesn't have that much speed, but he nearly beat it out. As we have allowed a run, I was trying to go with a 5-game streak without allowing a single run, as Zach Neto will come to the plate. He swings and misses at Marco Gonzalez's curveball. Here's the 0-1 count to Neto as he misses the circle change. 0-2 count. Fouled back by Neto. I need to get better here at seeing the pitches come in and not just blindly swinging. I feel like I do that way too often. Just blind swings. 206, like I said, for Neto here on the season. That's a good eye. That's what I need to do more often. Here is the 2-2 pitch. Neto goes down swinging. I expected it to break down into the zone. It was just a fastball, though. Therefore, you're not going to catch up to it. As Andrew McCutcheon still playing in the big leagues here. Back on the Pirates. As he's going to hit this one on the ground to Shanuel, trying to turn 2. Neto back to Shanuel. Or my fault. I think that's Matt Dice. It is Matt Dice playing first today. So we are still trailing 1-0 here. Marco Gonzalez still on the mound. Here's Neto. As he chops this one to third. Good swing timing. Just really didn't do anything with the pitch. That was Ke'Bryan Hayes over at third making the play. Nick Gonzalez at the plate here for the Pirates. Tyler Anderson now called upon as he is getting his first work of the game. This one's hit over to Neto. Try and make the play. And he is there. 2-0 still the score. Here we are, top 8 now. We are trailing 4-0. Marco Gonzalez still on the mound here for the Pirates. As Neto fouls this one away. Good swing timing, I thought. It was 109 off the bat. That could have been a home run had the swing timing been there. 0-1 count now. Only 2 hits all day for our offense. I got worried it was a no-hitter going on at the moment. As that's a very good hit from Zach Neto down the line. He's got pretty decent speed. It's not too explosive or anything. But Neto will cruise in there with a double. That's 2 hits here in the episode. I think we had one with Kyron Paris as well. No, maybe 3, because I think we had one with Mike Trout. So 3 hits in the episode. I'm getting a little bit better. I'm going to try and lay off those low pitches that I really stand no chance hitting. As Matt Dice will stand in now. The backup catcher that can play first and third as well. He's going to hit this one on the ground to short. As the throw is there for the final out. A base hit for Zach Neto, though. That's all I asked for. And it was a perfect. And now the game is tied 4-4. Zach Neto with an opportunity here. Aroldis Chapman, the pitcher, as he pitches out. Aroldis Chapman, still a flamethrower. 102 there on the pitch out. It's 4-4. Zach Neto, 1 for 3. Got to be patient at the plate. Neto fouls this one away. Trying to be more patient. That's a very good pitch to hit there. 1-1 count upcoming from Chapman. As Neto is going to swing and miss at the high fastball. Runner in scoring position, you need to be careful to not swing at anything that's out of the zone, but you need to protect as well. You need to put something in play here to give yourself a chance. 2-2 count. Neto will foul this one away. Here's the 2-2. Neto hits this one foul. We do the 2-2 again. Here's the pitch from Chapman. Neto hits this one, and it's going to get down. Zach Neto has given the Angels the lead as we're going to turn and head for second here, and we are in there. Zach Neto played for the Campbell Camels in college here in his second season here at the Bigs. Look at the leg kick. It's a 2-hit day for number 9, the starting shortstop. Matt Theis will stand in now, looking to continue the damage here in the inning as we have a 5-4 lead. Here is Theis. He's going to hit this one on the ground to third. Ke'Bryan Hayes is there to make the play, and that's going to hold the runner at third as well. Anthony Rendon, he's 0 for 3 on the day. Had himself a pretty good start to the season. Can he extend the lead here for the Angels? Here's the pitch from Chapman. Rendon's going to hit this one to right field. Right fielder moving back underneath of it for the final out. Now can we shut the Pirates down here in the bottom of the ninth? There is 2 away. Carlos Estevez, 8th pitch of the inning upcoming. Ke'Bryan Hayes at the plate. Here is the pitch. Hayes hits this one on the ground. Zach Neto fields it, throws on the first, and it's going to be an Angels victory as Zach Neto comes in the top of the ninth and hits the go-ahead run. I'm trying to get better at hitting here. It's going to take some time. I haven't been able to play as much as I would like. But Mike Trout with another 3-hit day. Jimmy Herget will get the win out of the bullpen. 2 doubles for Zach Neto. Pretty good outing. So wouldn't you know it, another winning streak. It's a 5-game winning streak that has just ended as we drop this game against the Kansas City Royals. This one is 3-3 now, and we're going to win it 4-3. Nice victory there for your Angels. 3 hits for Anthony Rendon. He's still hitting very well. 292 on the season. Trout's up to 297, and Logan O'Hoppe at an above 300 average, and he hit a home run as well. Zach Plesac, another very good game. As Matt Moore blows the save, Tyler Anderson will pick up the victory. And we just won this game against the Royals 12-3. Dominant outing. 2 hits from Sean Newell, 2 for Hicks. Another 3-hit day for Mike Trout. That's very impressive. Joe Adell is batting .444 at the moment. Stefanik still batting above 300. Chase Silseth, pretty decent outing. Tyler Anderson, does what he needs to do to end the game. We are 22-18 at the moment. I'm impressed with the way that we've been playing as we look at Lou McDermott, up to 55% scouted here. The contact looks like it's pretty decent. The power could be pretty decent as well. Vision and discipline. Hitting, he could potentially become like a solid hitter. He's going to be more known for his defensive ability, but he's going to be a solid hitter. I'm going to continue to scout him, and I'm actually going to see, did we find any East region pitchers here? We did. Michael Schaefer, starting pitcher. He's 18 years old, out of Pennsylvania. There we go. So we did find a pitcher. We discovered a potential hidden gem maybe. And I think that's the way that you need to go, is you got to discover these guys because more than likely they're not on other MLB draft boards, like team draft boards. So Michael Schaefer, somebody we're going to definitely scout out of the East region here. Jim Rosenberg, we talked about him already. Pedro Zuniga is a guy who is 2 on the MLB board, but he's not that good according to our scouts. Going through the rest of this here, I don't think we found anybody else that we like too much. But we get 15% scouting per week. Therefore, I think I'm going to go... Do I go one more week of scouting, or am I going to be satisfied with, 95% scouting on international pitchers? Would I like to get that extra week to get up to 100? I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to do this week right here. Then I'm going to start scouting some Eastern region guys. If there's anybody that I'm really interested in down the stretch, then we will make a move there. I'm going to go one more week on the pitchers out of the East region and one more week here on Lou McDermott. So we're going to finalize our scouting there. As Jimmy Herget, not in a good position, but we win the game 5-4. This has been a very good start to the month here. We dropped this game against the Cardinals 0-6, 1-4, and we are winning this one. Zach Plesac has another dominant game going. Okay, this guy could be a Cy Young caliber guy. I know he's really not known for his strikeout ability at the moment. Sean Uel with 2 hits, Ohapi with 3. Zach Neto still struggling, but Michael Stefanik, 2 for 3. Home run for Ohapi. And then looking at Zach Plesac, 7 2/3, allowed no earned runs. He doesn't have the strikeout numbers in order to be a Cy Young caliber guy, but he has been dominating. As now we have a series against the Texas Rangers here, as we're going to go ahead and simulate to the end of this game. We win this one 2-1. Another low-scoring victory. Now we're on the road again against the Rangers. We lose this one 3-6. 2 hits for Taylor Ward. Patrick Sandoval did pretty well in his start, but Tyler Anderson struggled to relieve him. So looking at the scouting, Lou McDermott, I'm glad we came back and did another round of scouting on him because he is now 6th on our board, 12th on the MLB board. Like I said, he's going to be known for his defense, but I think what I really like about him is his age. He's only 18 years old. The biggest thing with a guy like Lou McDermott, you know, he's probably going to be a B potential guy if I had to guess. But his overall to start could be very good. Lou McDermott is somebody that I'm going to consider. We're going to switch him out here and find somebody else. But, you know, I do like him, and I think he's 6th on our board, so he's somebody that I'll consider with that first pick. And that's especially considering the fact that, you know, your best offensive players are going to be guys that you can draft at the top. And we are actually picking number 8th. I thought we were picking 7th. We're picking 8th. Abraham Geronimo is going to be the next guy we take a look at. He's 18 years old as well. And then did we find any more pitchers in Discover? We actually did. Fernando Guillen is another guy that we have discovered. He's 22 years old. He's 24th on our board. And then you got Jim Rosenberger. We've already talked about him. Where's the other guy that we saw? And then there's Michael Schaefer as well. That's the guy that I was talking about. He's somebody that we're definitely going to scout further. But what we're going to do now is we're actually going to change some stuff up here. We're going to change this, and we're going to go starting pitcher out of the East region. And now we're going to get some broad scouting there for at least like 5 weeks, you know, give or take 5 weeks. And then we'll go through and we'll individually scout guys. With that being said, I'm going to go one more week of discovering pitchers out of the East region, and then we will switch that one up. Hopefully I remember that by the time I come to record another episode, but that's what we're going with. Abraham Geronimo. Now we're going to start scouting the position of starting pitchers out of the East region, and we're going to see if we can't discover some more pitchers out of the East region for one more week, and then we will change that to some offensive discovery prospects. So that's going to end the scouting there. Therefore, we're going to cap off the series against the Texas Rangers with a 2-3 loss. We're going to take a look. Quite a few people had a hit in this game. Nobody with multi-hit game. Reed Detmers allows 3 earned. But in the next episode, we're going to take on the Houston Astros here. But I want to get a game with Zach Plesac. This dude's been dominant. When we take a look at the pitching rotation, you know, Patrick Sandoval has been pretty good. Reed Detmers has struggled, though. Griffin Canning, dominant. Zach Plesac, 6-0. He's been electric. Chase Silseth as well has been pretty good. Reed Detmers is the guy we're looking to really turn his season around. Tyler Anderson, not bad. Jimmy Herget, getting better. Luis Garcia, still not really seeing any innings for him. Robert Stevenson, we're seeing quite a bit of. I'm not really sure why we're not seeing some of these guys get any innings. Matt Moore, and then Carlos Estevez there. Liking what I'm seeing out of these guys. Then we can take a look at our starting lineup as well. Mickey Moniak, average has went down. Sean Uel, average is down. Mike Trout, 287 with 7 homers. Brandon Drury with 6 homers. Taylor Ward, really struggling at the moment. Anthony Rendon, Logan Ohapi, both doing pretty well. Zach Neto struggling. Luis Rengifo. Average is going up, and he's playing quite well at the moment. 8 home runs. Matt Thaiss struggling. Joe Adell, only 9 at-bats, but he's doing pretty good. Michael Stefanik, though, 32 at-bats. I've been pleased with the way he's been playing. Aaron Hicks, not too bad. But that's going to do it. We are going to do a full game, though, in the next episode. I promise you we'll do a full game, and it's going to be this game here against the Astros. In that game, it is going to be quick counts. I'm not going to play full games. It just takes like an hour, and that's pretty much all I can afford to do in the episode, so I don't want to do that. We'll do quick counts, and we will get a full game in the next episode. But that's going to end this episode off. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. See ya.